The input remains completely constant. The soar is not altering the voltage. The variable is the impedance of the ground. Analyze the mechanics of the soil. First layer of the diagnostic, the wayside total density and uncalibrated hardened crust. The neural hardware is completely bound to the historical identity dust. The signal lands on the surface, but there is zero depth to host the incoming sparks. So the ambient entropic forces of the matrix sweep the data back into the dark. It's a closed system, the mind is locked in a rigid automated defensive gear, processing the words through social programming, completely unable to actually hear. The birds of the air are the ambient frequencies of the collective unconscious space, instantly devouring the scalar seed before it can even make contact with the face. If you live your life as a pavement, trampling the truth with the feet of routine, you ground the charge, immediately leaving the biological screen completely clean. It's not a moral failure, it's a failure of surface preparation and structural depth. An unplowed field walking through the matrix, exhaling a shallow mechanical breath. You must break the crust of the persona if you want the information to penetrate the line. Otherwise the packet bounces off the skull, completely locked out of the divine design. Second layer of the diagnostic, the rocky ground, high initial velocity, zero systemic roots, an emotional reaction to the frequency without the biological anchoring boots. The lattice receives the data with immediate joy, vibrating fast on a superficial plane, but it lacks the internal depth to sustain the voltage when the environment brings the pain. The soil is thin, resting on top of a hidden bedrock of unexamined trauma and identity pride. The root strikes stone immediately, unable to pull the life force from deep inside. When the sun rises, when the local matrix increases the heat and tests the configuration, the shallow field lacks the capacitance to endure the local dimensional tribulation. The moisture evaporates because the connection to the deep water table was never made. The enthusiasm burns out instantly and the temporary coherence is forced to fade. It's the trap of the superficial seeker, chasing the feeling instead of doing the structural work, wanting the power of the kingdom without clearing the substrates where the shadows lurk. You can't host an infinite signal on a shallow layer of dirt. The rock must be shattered down before the architecture of the true self can grow a root system beneath the local town. Third layer. The thorn choke field, dual-minded processing, split intent, fragmented desire. The scalar input is hosted, but the total bandwidth is already spent on a different fire. The soil is deep enough, but it's overcrowded with the weeds of the collective matrix grid. The care of this world of deceitfulness, the riches hiding what the original blueprint did. You're trying to run the kingdom software while executing the survival program at the exact same time, choking out the biophotonic expansion with the noise of the financial and social climb. The thorns are the frequencies of anxiety, the constant maintenance of the artificial name, splitting your attention until the power of the seed is neutralized within the cellular frame. But look at the fourth layer, the coherent substrate size, quieted, insulated, and deep. The biological field is stabilized, holding the pattern the chaotic matrix couldn't keep. An honest and good heart, meaning a field that is mathematically unified and clear with the noise, receiving the data, holding it fast and bringing forth fruit with a sovereign voice. 30, 60, 100-fold expansion, not by manual striving or ego-driven force, but through the natural geometric propagation of a biological seed aligned with the source. The seed is perfect. The problem is the resistance of the receiver. Diffractionate the self. Prepare the ground. The growth is automatic.